This interview is for the Westchester Area School District Legacy Project. So, what is your name and where did you go to school?
Okay, my name is Kathleen Myra. I was originally Kathy Zale. I went to demonstration school, which was the elementary school at the college, and then went to Stetson, which was then called Stetson Junior High, and then Henderson High School in Westchester. Later went on to college and got my master's degree.
And which year did you graduate?
I graduated in 1966, which is a very long time ago.
And how did you get to school every day?
Well, this is interesting. Very few people drove to school at that time. Yeah. Usually only maybe 2 or 3 of the seniors. The rest of us had to take a bus.
Okay.
And I lived really far from the bus stop, like a mile and a half.
Wow.
The bus did not come down the road I lived on. So our parents either took us to the bus stop or we walked almost a mile and a half to get the bus and then took the bus to school. But nearly everybody took the bus. Very few kids drove.
And did the school bus look like a modern school bus? Or?
Same old thing.
Okay.
Same thing, I think. Yeah.
And what classes did you take in high school and middle school?
Well, in middle school, ours was the first class to take biology in 8th grade, biology 1 in 8th grade, and algebra 1 in 8th grade.
Oh.
I don't know why they didn't do it sooner, but that's how that worked. We took geography in middle school. Well, it was junior high then, in 7th and 8th grade, which I know that you folks don't take now.
Yeah.
But geography was very helpful. We got to see where all these countries were.
Yeah.
So that was good.
And in high school, were there any other subjects?
Any different courses from ones you take now? No, because when I think about it and think about my son's schedule in high school, it was pretty much the same as mine, actually. Except that, well, he took Spanish and I took French. But other than that, it was pretty much the same, except he took 2 years of calculus and they only offered 1 when I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember how many kids were in your graduating class?
I do. There was almost 600 of us.
Wow.
Yeah, it was huge.
That's a big class.
It's before they divided and made East and made, all the other high schools.
And what grades were in your schools back then?
Yeah, it's very different. Their elementary school went from kindergarten through 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had something they called junior high, and that was 7th, 8th, and 9th. I never quite figured that out because 9th grade was really high school.
Yeah.
And then the high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th. But I think that was probably because of population. I mean, they had so many kids. We actually had to share lockers. There were so many kids. Yeah. We shared lockers. You chose a friend from your homeroom and shared a locker with them because there were 600 of us in a class.
I guess you had to hope that you had a friend in your homeroom.
Yeah, you're right. It worked out.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to have backpacks
Yeah.
because they took up too much space.
And what's your most memorable experience from school?
Most memorable? Well, let me see. Oh, I don't know if you do it now. I think you do. In 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, we had to write an essay with footnotes, a research paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those research papers were quite lengthy and had to be annotated. You had to put footnotes on the bottom of the page. Well, that doesn't sound like a problem when you're using a computer, and it isn't. However, when you're typing it, you have to type it and make sure you leave enough space at the bottom for these footnotes. They didn't allow you to put them at the end of the paper. It was ridiculous.
And what would you be typing?
Well, what would you be typing? You'd be writing a paper.
Yeah.
It was a research paper of your own choice that the English teacher approved.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it was a very difficult experience because you couldn't use erasable paper. So the typing became the more difficult part. The writing of the paper was the easy part.
Okay. And was there any segregation in your schools by race or gender?
No. When I went to demonstration school, which was the elementary school for the college, that really happened to be segregated because most of the children who went there were children of college professors.
Okay.
Then later, when I went to Stetson, it was integrated, as was the high school. However, the reason my parents sent me to demonstration school was for this. My mother taught at High Street School, which was in Westchester.
Yeah.
She knew they were going to start integrating the schools. And she knew that living in East Bradford, I would probably be sent to a different elementary school every year until they achieved all that integration. So that's why they opted to, pay for me to go to demonstration school.
So they
college.
were integrating the schools right as you were starting?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I don't remember when Brown versus the Board of Education was, probably in the 55?
Oh.
Yeah, so that would be 56, that would be about right, yeah.
And were there any field trips when you went to school?
Oh, yeah, we went to the planetarium in Philadelphia. We went to, and I remember when I was in high school, language teachers would take people to Spain or to France, that kind of thing.
And was there a favorite field trip that you had?
Not that I really remember. Isn't that funny? My parents traveled a lot as a child. Every summer, my parents were both teachers,
Yeah.
so we would go away a lot. So I was pretty well traveled, so
Okay.
field trips were a big deal.
And did you participate in any activities, after-school clubs?
Yeah. Here's a photo. This is kind of funny. Of it's the cheerleaders at Stetson Junior High, and the thing that was so interesting about this was like the second year it was open, so they had an S on the megaphone, but our sweaters still had W's on them for Westchester, which I think was kind of interesting.
So
That's kind
still
of
trying to work out the kinks in the
I guess
system.
they were trying to work out the kinks at that point in time. Yeah.
And was there any bullying in your school?
Bullying? Oh, sure. Kids would, yes, but our parents didn't go to the office and complain. They just said, work it out. I mean, it really. I can remember a little boy when I was in third grade. He was about half my size, chasing me all the way home from school. Said, "I'm going to get you." My mother said, "Well, you're bigger than he is. Don't worry about it."
So he chased you the whole mile home?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
He did. Yeah. And I could run that far at that time.
that was good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess there was bullying. I just remember there being mean girls, in high school, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And what did the schools look like? Did they look like they are today?
They really did, exactly. Actually, my son went to Stetson for 1 year before they renovated it, and for that unrenovated year, it was exactly the same. High school Henderson now, of course, looks very nice.
Yeah.
They made it aesthetically look very nice. Actually, the inside's set up pretty much the same.
And inside the classrooms, how big were your classes?
You mean how many kids were
How
in the
many
class?
kids,
Yeah. 25, 26, something like that. Yeah, we didn't have, TV monitors in every room and that kind of thing. But they didn't come in until a lot later. So.
And do you think there's a big difference in today's schooling than when you were in school?
I think there are more opportunities for children to take more classes. I mean, I think we were very lucky at Henderson at the time I went there to have a lot of advanced classes. They didn't have anything AP per se, but you could take 4 years of languages. I was able to take calculus, all that kind of thing. So, yeah. I think there were a lot of opportunities.
Okay. And did you have a favorite class?
Favorite class? I probably like French the best.
Okay.
I ended up teaching second grade. French didn't do me a lot of good. Second grade. So that's it. Anything else? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.